we're expecting the next halving for the crypto market, for BTC, to happen around March 18th. So we are looking at only about one exact calendar year before we are almost guaranteed to see some insane action for the crypto market. Now, over and over and over again, even the top experts in crypto will look at this and say, well, this time it's not going to happen again. It may have happened last time, but this time it's not going to happen again. And every single time, over and over and over and over and over again, these experts are proven wrong. And it's a beautiful thing to see. Right now's the time to not only focus on trying to accumulate the best coins that are going to absolutely skyrocket during the March 18th approximate run. It typically happens a little bit before then, in anticipation of it is when it starts. But we're going to see a huge momentum swing at the very beginning of 2024 for Bitcoin, as that's going to lift the entire market up. Dogecoin will be tremendously benefited from this, more than any other coin, most likely. After the next halving event in 2024, miners will receive just 3.125 BTC for every block mined. Experts calculate that if the daily average number of blocks stays consistent, 450 coins will be released each day following the March 2024 halving event. Now, if you don't know how that works, basically every single 4-year cycle, happened in 2016, happened in 2012, we see Bitcoin, the difficulty for you to actually mine it, see a big increase, happened in 2020, right? And so now, instead of having a certain amount you can mine, you have half of that, and it happens every single time, and it's been responsible for some of the biggest spikes in the entire crypto market. It's very fun to look at this and realize how close we are, because a year seems like a long time, but it's going to fly by. And the best part is that in anticipation of that, the year before we see the halving cycle, aka 2023, is typically some of the most fun, because you see a lot of different vying coins as people try to buy in ahead of this halving cycle. So we're going to see, especially over the coming months, a lot of spikes with small market cap coins. MoonPot obviously doing really well right now, and that's a lot of fun to watch, but it's going to continue on like that. By the way, fugitive Kwon, who you may know from his handling of Terra, which was very poor. Now we have learned that he has taken 10,000 BTC out of the ecosystem for Terra. 10,000! That's worth approximately look at this, $238 million, or $243 million. That's insane. I mean, that's a massive, it's almost $250 million. That's a massive amount of money. And now we know he's been transferring that out secretly and slowly over the course of the last few months through a Swiss bank. Now, though, they're onto him. I don't know what he's going to do next, but he is somewhere in the world right now, likely living in one of his friends' houses, paying them money in order to stay there, a decent amount in cash, which he still has. Or maybe it's just a friend who wants him to stay there. I mean, I don't know exactly what his situation is, but he's been evading the law for quite a while here. It's only a matter of time before he does get caught, unless he's really smart, and maybe, I guess he is pretty smart. I mean, he may figure out a way to evade it forever. I hope that's not the case, because at the very least, he needs to actually be forced to answer for his decisions. He needs to be forced to explain what he did and why it was so quick, and why he did transfer the money and what happened to it. And there's just so much here that's very upsetting, especially when you look at the fact that he clearly had an indication it was going to crash in the days before. It's why he dissolved the company. Scary to see. A trader, by the way, just made $100,000 in seconds by front-running a token listing on Binance. You may remember there were 3 people with Coinbase who got absolutely wrecked by the government, and their hefty sentences thrown at them because they were front-running coin listings by buying a bunch and then selling right after. Well, now we know it's continuing to happen, because how can you possibly have the inclination that Binance is about to do it? How would you know that? This was Gains Network, GNS, listed on Binance. The trader purchased 208,000. Clearly, this has to be someone within the company with insider knowledge. There's so many snakes in crypto, unfortunately. That's why I've, over time, learned exactly how to weed out the snakes and destroy them forever, because a few of our projects have been absolutely wrecked by snakes. It's really sad when that happens. I mean, some of the things I've cared most about have been destroyed by snakes. And so we've gotten better and better and better over time, to the point where most of my operations now are almost entirely snake-free. Occasionally we'll have a little bit of a tail snake, but they don't have any power. So the snakes, unfortunately, here though, do have power. We don't let that happen anymore. But 208,000 of Gains Network, they profited over 100K, 106,000 in just a few minutes. 30 minutes before they purchased, then they decided to sell after the 51% spike for the coin. Scary that people have that kind of opening into Binance and what's happening with it, because it completely and totally devalues listings on there, which shouldn't be the case. And you combine that with this, which is also sad. Paul Pierce settled 1.4 million lawsuit. It's sad that celebrities like this who do really shady deals with these shady projects are running it for everyone. What the heck are you doing, Paul Pierce? Literally, Emax was one of the single worst things that's ever happened to crypto, because we had Kim Kardashian, other major celebrities, very connected people, who were all promoting it in very scammy ways, lying directly about it to people. And I get it, every YouTuber's done, every big influencer, every YouTuber who's been around projects has been part of something or another that's failed or had a problem with it, but for the most part, most crypto people do not directly lie to you and pretend like they have more coins than they do, or not even admit any of the details of the deal and pretend like it wasn't even the case. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. And then also if they sell all of it, it's even worse. So he got paid $244,000 to promote it and shared a screenshot suggesting he had a different amount than he actually had. Now, I hate this because that's ruining it for everyone else. Now, I do think the SEC was a little harsh here, because 1.4 million, 244,000, and it wasn't like he directly and undeniably did something scammy. It was a little bit shady, right? It wasn't like overwhelmingly bad. So I think the SEC is kind of taking advantage of the fact that, you know, these people have a lot of money, but that makes it even worse in my opinion, because if you have a lot of money and you're doing crap projects instead of just finding cool projects and supporting those, then what the heck are you doing? Like, you have the resources and the influence to start an awesome project. Do that. Why have to go on to someone else's project? It's just sad that that's the case. The SEC, though, is playing a role here. Matt has always been bullish. What's that? When was this show bearish? I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to. Yeah, I am bearish sometimes. At the top of the market, I was bearish. I did tell you now's the time to sell. I said do it. Pull out your sell button and sell. I'm not going to do it myself with Dogecoin, but I am selling other cryptos, and I did. I sold a lot of cryptos at the top of the market and made some good money from it, right? A lot of us did. I made a lot of good money from it if you're trading it right. But as Bitcoin hits 25K, experts, investors are now turning to crypto as a safe haven. So we're combining crypto now being one of the best assets in this extremely tumultuous. That's a weird word, isn't it? In this tumultuous market. Tumultuous. We'll add extra syllables on there just so it sounds like we know what we're talking about. As Bitcoin hits, Matt, read the dictionary. Come on. How do you not know what tumultuous means? Or how to pronounce it, rather. As Bitcoin hits 25K, experts say turning into safe haven. This is the market right now. This is the state we're in right now. Take a look at this. Ethereum, not bad in the nice 10.9% gain this week, 12% for BTC. Dogecoin going up this week as well. Solana, nice gain, still behind Dogecoin at the moment after a decent size pullback. Shiba 5%, so a little bit less than Dogecoin in the last week. But most of these coins are seeing nice influxes, and this is as a direct result of the fact that the halving is coming up soon. People are trying to load up now before we see that run start, and it can start at any point between 6 months all up into 1 month before. It can even happen as early as a year before that these big buy parties really start. And so we're going to have to be a little bit patient, but probably not as patient as you may expect considering the length of time until the actual halving happens. Because people are smart now. People know the deal more so than ever, even though somehow people will still pretend like it's not going to happen. 180K Bitcoin is the price prediction from this guy here. FILB. 180K, that's the target. Says traders only need one chart to deal with what has happened immediately after each BTC halving to understand the potential. You can see right there. So this is a chart predicting 180K Bitcoin. Really, that's the low side target within the next few years for the actual halving. That's probably about right. Now with Dogecoin, it can obviously see a significantly bigger X increase, way more percentage points on there because of the fact that it's much smaller now. So we have so many different things to look at here that all suggest we're going to see a huge run before the end of March of 2024, which means the months are just counting down, and it can literally start at any month between now and then as people try to anticipate when it's going to start. So it's the pre-buy of the buy party, if that makes sense. And then there will be a pre-buy of the pre-buy of the buy party, then a pre-buy of the pre-buy of that, and then once it really starts to get fun is when the FOMO happens. Because every single time the pre-buy starts and everyone wants to try to catch it early, and then starts going up a little bit. And they're like, oh, dang it, I should have bought more. So they buy a little bit more, and then, okay, I should have bought more, Oh my gosh, it's going crazy. Okay, I really need to, dang it, I should have bought way more. Okay, maybe it's not too late. I'm gonna put a little bit more in. Everyone starts doing that, and it just rockets. That's what's gonna happen. It's human psychology. Happens every single time. How can you even, if you try to deny that at this point, I don't even know what the heck you're doing. I mean, it's undeniable. It's gonna happen. People aren't willing to put, what are you referring to? I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to, but if you want to press like, you're certainly welcome to do that. One like equals one new individual coming to live. It's absolutely worth it to do that. And if you have not turned on those notifications, with the next halving cycle now within arm's reach, it is time to do that. It's crazy how fast things have progressed from 2020 until now. But here we are, and life is very fast. It all goes by in a blink. At least it has been in the crypto world, right? I feel like I'm the only one holding Doge. Not even close, George. You are not even close to the only one holding Doge. We have over 10 million wallets right now, and that's a low estimate because a lot of people are holding on exchanges, and it's hard to measure that. But 10 million is including the exchange estimate. It's just hard to measure the exact full length of how many people are holding. But anyway, I'm at Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.